This week, I want to talk to you about unconscious bias and how that might be affecting your team and your team's growth. So, if you don't know me, I'm Dr. Ramona Lawrence, and I'm an automation and productivity strategist and a diversity, equity, and inclusion coach for women in network marketing and direct sales. So, my systems, they combine culture and consistency. So you have systems that work not only in your busy life, but they also work in your community. So you break the glass ceiling in your business. And so I am so excited to give you culture with consistency. So if you say you want a diverse team or to sell your products or services to diverse communities, it's important that you recognize your unconscious biases. We all have them. Yes, we do. But you've got to start to recognize them if this is not going to come in and start to affect your team. So let's talk about what is unconscious bias. Well, it's these unsupported judgments or subconscious attitudes in favor of or against a person, right? So you have this thought, and it's either a good thought about what you're seeing or a negative thought. So we all have certain biases. It's just a part of being human. But recognizing how they impact teams is absolutely essential if you really, really want to build in diverse communities. So I'm going to give you some pictures, and I want to know, what is the first thought in your mind when you see these individuals in these pictures? So here they are. What do you think when you see this one? What about this one? Okay, this one. What about this one? Okay, this one. What about that one? What do you think when you see this one? And what about that one? So take note of your thoughts. Were you surprised at what really came up for you? So, no judgment, right? The point here is to make you aware of your biases. Identify those blind spots and then cultivate the willingness to change them, right? So no judgment, right? You've got to cultivate the willingness to change your biases, or you are really, really, really going to see this show up in your team, and you don't want that. So, think about this. Why does unconscious bias even matter when you're building teams in your business? Well, so network marketing, direct sales and companies often have this revolving door of consultants. So you have people coming in, you have people going out, and when that happens, you can't level up in your business. There's no way to promote if you cannot keep people on your team. So, of course, there's many reasons for this, but what I've found is that diverse consultants feel like they don't belong within their teams or in their companies. And so what happens? This causes great people to leave teams and the industry as a whole. So you want to stop that revolving door, and you want to stop this from happening. And so what happens with unconscious bias is that it often creates these cliques, right? So have you ever noticed any kind of separation on your team, right? So it's a huge problem. This is a huge problem with businesses that require duplication, like network marketing or direct sales. And so here's the thing. We say out of our mouths that we want diversity, but what happens is when people come onto our team, those individuals who fit the mold are often celebrated more readily, right? The other people are not celebrated as much. So here's how to start to fix this, right? If you have unconscious bias and you can recognize that you've seen something has sparked in you, the first thing is education. Start to educate yourself about biases, about other cultures, about differences in people, and start to educate yourself about your own biases. Then put on your inclusivity lens and focus on what you might be doing that might be excluding people. And so as you learn, as you get the education, put on the inclusivity lens and start to use the education, okay? And so when you go and you do different diversity trainings, I really want you to remember that diversity, equity, and inclusion is not a one training, one day, one step process. What happens is that you constantly have to challenge your unconscious biases every day. Think about what people are saying on your team. Are they saying that it feels cliquish, or that it feels like that there are people who are more celebrated in certain groups than there are in others? If you see that, if you recognize it, again, no judgment, but you have to recognize it and you have to take action. Again, your inclusivity lens must be on, and look down into your team, look in your processes, look at how you reward people. Are you including everybody on your team, right? And it's not just about race. I'm always telling people, when we talk about diversity, we are not just talking about race. Is the man excluded on your team? Are the single moms excluded on your team, right? Do you have biases towards those people that are unconscious biases, that they don't contribute as much to your team, or they won't contribute as much? So check your biases, educate yourself, and put on your inclusivity lens, and you will be able to win with team building and win against all of these unconscious biases that could be making people on your team feel like they don't belong. And as always, I'm cheering you on, and I see you.